Served as one half of TV's most iconic police partnership, Cagney and Lacey star Sharon Gless will join us to tell us why she swapped the mean streets of New York for the London stage.
Do you know what, Sharon? You look incredible. And we're looking forward to talking to her in just a moment. You're watching Good Morning Britain on ITV1. Sharon Gless from Cagney and Lacey joins us now. And the reason that you made me laugh is we talked about the fact that it's a groundbreaking show. Sharon said, produced by a man. I married him. And on that bombshell, look, we're going to talk to Sharon in just a moment. Let's go first to Andy, who's in Walsall, where he woke up. Lucky winner Keith. We love Keith, and until Sharon, he was the star of the show.
She starred as one half of TV's most iconic police duo, Cagney and Lacey, but now Sharon Gless is preparing to reveal all about her life and career here in the UK on stage.
Yeah, and it's absolutely fantastic to see you. Look, I was watching Cagney and Lacey when I was younger, and I watched an episode back last night. It was groundbreaking stuff.
It was in its day, yes.
Wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
What was it about it that, for me, right, watching it back, your character, obviously glamorous.
Well,
nothing's changed. Nothing's changed.
I don't think that was the assignment. I was the blonde.
And then Lacey was, you know, the career mom.
Right.
Dealing with Harvey, dealing with the kids.
Right. And Cagney slept around and drank and had a terrible attitude on the police force, but she was the most fun character to play.
But what's brilliant about it is you can watch it back now and it's still timely, because it's not just a cop show. We were talking about this, weren't we? It's not just a cop show, lots of, you know, shootouts and chasing in cars.
No.
It's got resonance right now still.
Thank you. And I think because it wasn't just about the case.
No.
It was really about the women.
And their
the
lives.
man who produced it said, in a fairer world, it could have taken place in a post office, because it was about those two women and their lives, their relationship with each other. Obviously, you put it in a more dangerous setting because it's, you know.
It was a massive change, wasn't it? Because in the 70s, we'd had Starsky and Hutch or Kojak or Rockford Files, but then you had Hill Street Blues and Cagney and Lacey.
Right.
And they were the first realist detective shows. As it happens, two women, Cagney and Lacey, but it was more than that. It was the first time you really saw, I mean, I believed you were a detective. You weren't acting. This was you.
Oh, thank you.
And it was all the shows which came after, like NYPD Blue and Britain the Bill, they all followed from Cagney and Lacey.
That's what I understand, right. And when the first time I met Helen Mirren, I went to tell her what a fan I was of hers, and she got down on the floor and worshipped. This is in the middle of a New York theater. She got on.
Because Prime Suspect, she said,
right,
so influenced by Cagney and Lacey.
It was a spin-off, almost, from Cagney and Lacey.
Are you still good friends, or did you stay
very
friends?
close. With Tyne?
With Tyne, who
yes,
played
we're very close.
Lacey.
We didn't have time to be best friends.
No.
Shooting. We just didn't have time to be friends. We were colleagues, and 18 hours a day. But now we're best friends, and we talk on the phone almost every day.
She had the gritty life with, what was the name of her husband?
Harvey.
Harvey, right.
And you were the glamour one.
No, I wasn't the glamour one at all. I was the drunk and, you know, the one who slept around and
in Ed's world, that's the glamour one.
Come on. No, the glamour is that you're here in the UK.
That's right.
And to celebrate your 80th birthday.
Yes,
which is like astonishing, I have to say.
I crossed over on the Queen Mary too for my 80th birthday.
A 7-day trip from New York to Southampton.
Yes.
On the most wonderful ship.
Exactly.
Did you have a good time?
Oh, it was so exciting. I took a picture of my grandmother, who was on the original Queen Mary, with me.
Wow.
All right, and I took it on the cruise with me, and now I'm going to be doing an interview at the Riverside Studios.
But we're all intrigued by the fact that that your husband bought you the ticket for the trip.
He did.
But then he didn't come with you.
Oh, I didn't want to travel with him. I said, I want to do this alone. It's something I need to do with my grandmother.
So did he
said,
wave
Sharon,
off?
you're 80 years old. You sure? I don't want them finding you in your room 3 days later, you know. And I said, all right, fine. So he treated my best friend.
Oh, I love that.
So he waved you off and then flew over on the dock.
With long-stemmed roses in his
God,
arms. That's what
romantic.
I wanted.
Oh, so romantic. And he was the producer.
That was the man who was the executive producer of Cagney and Lacey.
Right.
Did you fall in love with him on the show.
Yes, late in the show's shooting.
So it sort of, that professional role became a key part of your personal life. There's something else about your character, of course, that also became personal, and that was the drinking.
The
You've
drinking.
reflected on that, haven't
That's
you?
why the name of my book is Apparently There Were Complaints. That's
Yeah, you said that it became known when you rapped on a shoot, a glass of scotch and ice was put in your hand and everyone would call it Sharon's apple.
Yes, you know that.
Yeah.
Right, I said it must be 5 o'clock somewhere, but it wasn't. It was like 2 in the morning. But at 5 o'clock, the meter would go off for me, and yeah, and they'd screw a drink in my hand.
And that is something that you've overcome. You know,
Yes.
5 years ago, you just called it quits, didn't you? Because
Well, more than 5 years ago, but then I fell off and I started again, and
You've done so many things since, so many other TV, film.
oh sure,
Is
I did the American version of You're Queer as Folk.
ah,
I did.
yes.
But is Cagney and Lacey, is that the most important thing you did in your career?
It's the most important series in my career because it made me so known.
Yes.
And then I was able to go on, and I've done, because of that show, I've done 9 series now.
Fantastic. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
You look phenomenal at 80.
Must be the lighting in here.
No, no.
What piece of wisdom would you share having reached 8 decades?
I have no piece of wisdom.
Maybe that's the wisdom. Maybe
Exactly.
that is the lesson.
Exactly.
You're still learning.
I am every single day. Every single day.
Do you know what? It's just a joy to meet you. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
you've been
Sharon.
so
8th of
lovely.
June, Riverside Studios.
Yeah, enjoy.
That's right,
Fabulous
Tuesday.
evening.
Thank you very, very much.